Few years ago, I was heading a project with Government of India called Akash Tablet. It was dubbed as the cheapest tablet PC of the world. And when government launched it, their motivation was today we are all in, those who are in metro cities, they have access to highest quality infrastructure, highest quality educational resources, best in class teachers. But if someone is sitting in a tier 3 town or a village, all those things, they look like a distant dream to them. You know, our teachers who have been teaching as those government schools are being mocked openly. So there is a huge discrepancy that exists. So in order to bridge that digital divide, technology is going to play a major role. Now imagine if a student is not able to get into IIT and he's sitting at, let's say a rural village in Rourkela, and he's enrolled into a tier 3 college with no chances of a campus placement. Those colleges could actually connect with IITs and IIMs or even MIT and Harvard of the world and teach artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science, and those kind of subjects to their students on campus using online learning. And those teachers, rather than being a sage on stage, they could work as a guide with the student. They will learn the concepts through video lectures, and teachers can actually discuss them in classroom with the students. So that is how technology should be used. Now, the problems that we are facing is those teachers, they are looking at technology as something which will, take away their jobs. A lot of teachers themselves are afraid of education technology. They feel that these machines will replace them. And that is the major barrier in terms of online education, which is not only in the case of, I would say, schools or colleges in tier 2, tier 3 domain, but even if I talk about some finest education institutes in private space in metro cities, their teachers would also have the same psyche, which is a huge danger. So I think teachers for a very long time have been very resistant to change. That was one challenge, and I think this particular epidemic period has eased out on them. They're all being nudged to come on online and teach using online ways. And they are realizing how it is making their life easier. The second challenge that a lot of MOOCs are facing is to maintain the learner's motivation. When our Indian students are very used to spoon feeding, we are used to sitting in campuses and in classrooms and making sure that there is a master G sitting on our head to complete a particular assignment. In virtual learning, this is not the case anymore. A lot is to be done with your motivation. So I think a lot of edtech players are trying to integrate the elements of social learning, peer learning, to give them a feeling of sitting in a virtual classroom while they are at home. Third is about maintaining learners' integrity. So for example, and I think proctored solution or virtual proctoring is the answer to this. A lot of competitive exam, including CAT, MAT, etc., are now being conducted online. GMAT is being conducted online. A lot of certifications are being conducted online. On edX, universities like MIT, Columbia, IIM Bangalore, they are conducting a part of their degrees online, and they give them credits for whatever they have learned. And these universities, they cannot compromise with the learner's integrity. They cannot give their credits to anyone who has not passed the exam with fair mediums. So they simply use proctoring techniques wherein a student sits in front of a webcam, they install a small application into their system, and then they give their exam, and a webcam is monitoring them. If the student tries to open any other window, there is a red flag. If I look here and there is a red flag. If I hear a background noise, there is a red flag. And all of those red flags are then monitored by a person, and then they are observed, their entire video is watched, and then their integrity is managed. So I think a lot of work is already being done into this segment to maintain learners integrity.